All right, so like I said, we got another F150 exhaust to do, and we got this thing in, we got it up on the hoist, and we're just looking underneath. So this thing is single exit like they all are on the passenger side from the factory, and customers supplied the exhaust for this, but it's coming out right here straight out the back and one on the other side, so it'll be dual exhaust straight out the back. So this is a MagnaFlow kit. If you take a peek here on the ground, you have the two black pipes, that's obviously your tips. You have the two over axle pipes, muffler, the inlet pipe to go to the Y pipe at the front, and miscellaneous hardware. So that's what we got to do. Enough talking. Let's get that old stuff off because, yeah, you can't even hear it. So now with the old stuff out of the way, we're ready to start getting the new stuff up. So we got the new muffler, and I got the new pipe here that's gonna go from the factory system, right here above my hand. It's gonna go through this piece into the muffler, and you do that by slipping this in there. You put one clamp on it. So let's go ahead, we'll get this in there, and yeah, see what comes next. Alright, so disclaimer before any of you start talking smack about MagnaFlow. MagnaFlow makes a great exhaust, and the customer ordered this exhaust knowing it may not fit the vehicle. So, that's why we're modifying. Now, if you remember, if we look up, this right here, this rusty pipe, is the pipe that we need to connect to, and this pipe is supposed to go inside the end of here. Let me move my hand. Alright, so that pipe is supposed to go inside the end. Now, it's too big to do that, so what we're doing is I use my expander, and I just expanded it. As you can see, it is really, really tight. I gotta wiggle it all around, but it's gonna slide over. So what we're gonna do is slide this pipe all the way back as far as we can get it. There is a little bulge right here, so we're gonna get it all the way back to that, and then we're gonna put our clamp on there, and hopefully we have no exhaust leaks. So we got the inlet pipe and we got the muffler. It's right here. So it's on a little bit of an angle, but we can adjust that afterward once we get the tailpipes in. So we have one tailpipe that's going to come in this direction, and there's supposed to be a couple holes back here at the back of the truck that we're going to go ahead and mount another hanger to that'll hold the tip. Same thing on the driver's side. So first we're going to start with the passenger, since the pipe's a little bit shorter, and I'm hoping it'll get us kind of in the right place. And then we'll go to the more difficult side, the driver's side, where it has to cross over the truck and then out the other side. All right, so we're back here at the back, and just like the front, it really doesn't fit that well back here. So what I did do, let me pick you up and bring you over. What I did have to do was remove the heat shielding here on the side of the tire. It was hitting the pipe right there, and obviously wouldn't let it come by the tire here, so I had to do that. And now up here, let me zoom you in. If I get you over, ta-da! As you can see right there, that silver bracket. So that bracket is supposed to have holes that mount, and it should have been way up there. But because this is the wrong year, and we did that, or he did that I should say, because he wanted it to come out the back, they didn't offer it for this vehicle. So what I have to do is drill holes here, and I modified the mounts there a little bit. Not that it can't be done, it's just whatever. You can't just buy the kit and bolt it on. So over here, if we look at this side, I didn't take you guys through the painful learning process to get the driver's side mounted. But if you look, it comes through we have good clearance to the tire, and on this side I'm going to have to pull all of these wires back this way away from that exhaust, as we don't want them flapping this way and hitting. But it all comes up, looks good. The two pipes here are really close up there in the top, but we will be able to spread them apart a little bit. And then following back here, it gets kind of close to the leaf spring, but once this goes up, I think we'll buy ourselves a little bit of room. So that's what we're looking to do. This mount here and the same mount just mirrored on the other side are the mounts that I had to modify. So what I did was vice grip them. I mounted the driver's side, and then I vice gripped this passenger side so that the tip is spaced equally left to right and up and down. And then now I can go up here and drill some holes and put some bolts through. So we're gonna get on that. So what I did do was, I know the trailer hitch is centered to the vehicle. So I measured from the trailer hitch over to the driver's side tip, from this trailer hitch over to the passenger side tip. So I was able to get those center left to right in the vehicle. And then I went from the bumper down to the tip and the ground up, just in case the ground's a little bit off or the bumper's a little bit off. And I was able to fine tune it in that way. The last thing that I did do, which isn't absolutely perfect, but it's the best that I could get, was I went from the side of the tip here up to the tire. Now, the reason I did that is because I didn't want the tips like, kind of like that, where, you know, the driver's side or the passenger side stuck out too far in the vehicle, and then, you know, it just kind of looks dumb. So, we were able to get all that done, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. It just was a lot of, you know, finagling, if you will. So I wanted to go real quick and go over this exhaust pipe expander that I have. So this expander just comes in this plastic case, and it does everything from, what is this, 2 3/8 exhaust all the way up to 4-inch. So this one you use for like a 2 3/8 to 2.5, this one, and then you just continue on sizing up, and you just pull this center. I'll do it here. You just pull this center piece out. So as you can see, there's that squared hole cut in it. And on the mandrel here, it's just a threaded rod with a bearing up here under the nut. And it has a square receiver here in the nut. So what it does is that that nut goes and collapses down into that square and just pops it open, kind of like that. And the further you collapse that thing down in, the further it spreads open, and then it pops that pipe open. So what you want to do is take a solid round pipe, and you want to expand that open to the size that you need, and then you go and you put 2 cuts in it that are 90 degrees opposite where the bolt and the clamp is. Let me grab a clamp here. So here's a clamp that I took off the vehicle. And you can see that bolt over here. So you want the slot on the top and on the bottom so that that hole, or that little mandrel piece there, is 90 degrees off of those. So usually what I do is I expand it open to the size that I require. I take my die grinder and I cut a hole or a slit, you know, whatever, maybe an inch in. That's about how wide these clamps are. So I cut a slot about an inch in so that that has something to collapse down and grab on the pipe that you're going over. And that's it. So without this tool here tonight, there's no way we would have been able to get this exhaust done. You would have been going to an exhaust shop and getting them to do the exact same thing. I mean, they have a hydraulic option, which one will go a lot faster, and two, you know, will give you a little bit more precise of a size. So you run that one with an impact gun. But hey, for the amount of exhaust I do in here, it's not an all day, everyday thing. That thing works great. So I bought that one off Amazon. I want to say it was 150 bucks or something in that range. I will find it again and throw the link in the description if anybody's looking for one. But if you do exhaust here and there like I do, it's definitely worthwhile. Anyways, enough talking. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up and see what it sounds like. All right, and there you have it. An exhaust out the rear of an 18 F150 with a MagnaFlow kit that isn't supposed to fit. So, don't let companies tell you that it doesn't fit. And yeah, go ahead and try something new. For this customer, I'm gonna say it's a win-win. Anyways, guys, thanks for getting this far in the video. Really do appreciate it. And before we go, I'd like to throw a shout out to this video sponsor, MS Supply. MS Supply supplies everything from nuts and bolts to butt connectors and, you know, little ring terminals and all that kind of stuff that you're gonna use through your shop. You can buy everything through these guys and they're absolutely incredible. What I will do is throw their information in the links down below. And also, if you're ever interested in any of the people that help us produce this channel, it's always in the links down below. You'll get every single company that we deal with on a regular basis and the people that help me bring content to you.